A group of strangers receive mysterious online invites for an elite trial of a groundbreaking virtual reality experience called Level Ground. A robotic voice greets them, instructing everyone to register on a digital tablet. They're then ordered to deposit their belongings into lockers, everything personal, including phones and jewelry. They're handed full-body motion suits meant to sync with a VR system while changing, fitting into his tight gear. Gideon, a quiet man with a deep scar across his back, reveals he once served in the military. Once suited, the group is led into a scanning chamber. One by one, they step onto a platform, state their usernames, and receive high-tech VR helmets. These devices attach to their spines, enabling full sensory immersion. John, surprised, thought such tech was exclusive to military training or billionaires. Everyone quickly gears up, except for Anthony, a reserved Bosnian man who chose the ironic username, Terabyte, without realizing it would be displayed on his suit. He panics, realizing how the name might be misinterpreted, and tries to quit, but the doors won't open. No one responds. The group convinces him to stay. It's just a game. The robotic voice announces the training phase. They lock in their helmets, and instantly, the bright tech room shifts into a grim, post-apocalyptic war zone. Their suits now resemble combat uniforms, their bodies transformed and stripped of tattoos and scars. Suddenly, a virtual sergeant appears, a hostile NPC who barks orders and treats them like new soldiers. They soon realize he's not physically present, but his interaction is uncannily lifelike. He leads them to a makeshift armory filled with props, guns that behave like real weapons inside the simulation. After a round of bottle shooting, he fires at 2 players. Their armor disappears, indicating vulnerability. The sergeant explains, one hit strips your protection, the second, if you're hit again without armor, you can use a single revival injection called a pulse shot. But each player gets only one. Their mission, eliminate hostile forces on each level of the building and reach the ground floor alive. Survivors will win the real-world prize. Gideon, drawing from real-life military experience, naturally takes the lead. He teaches the group how to move stealthily. As they advance, they encounter the first threat, an enemy NPC opens fire. The group scatters, but Gideon swiftly eliminates the attacker. The voice confirms they've cleared level 25, and Gideon earns full points. Attempting the stairs, they discover electric traps prevent escape unless a level is fully completed. On level 24, they find upgraded weapons. Gideon instructs the others in their use. As enemies flood in, Marco scores a kill, boosting morale. Most players dive for cover. John, flustered, sprays bullets wildly without hitting anything. Frustrated, Gideon steps in and eliminates the attacker, but gets hit in return, losing his vest. Meanwhile, Taylor, a player who joined in place of a friend, has a panic attack. She freezes under pressure, unable to shoot. Shelley comforts her, reminding her it's only a simulation. But when it's Taylor's turn to defend herself, she still can't pull the trigger. A terrorist NPC charges toward her, only to be shot by Carl, who's immediately gunned down afterward and loses his armor. Carl surrenders, but is shot again. Shelley retaliates, eliminating the threat. They remove their helmets. Carl groans in real pain. Back in-game, Gideon uses Carl's pulse shot to heal him. Carl vomits, whispering, "This isn't a game." Everyone removes their helmets to breathe. John finds new gear. Carl, trembling, theorizes they're inside a twisted reality show. Marco believes it's a military experiment, accusing Gideon of being an insider. Tension rises. Gideon retreats to the bathroom to collect himself, unaware the game hasn't paused. Suddenly, one of the earlier enemies respawns and ambushes Gideon. He barely manages to seal his helmet before getting shot. Having used his serum, he's helpless. The others hear gunfire. Edward closes his helmet, only to be shot instantly. The team scrambles to cover. Taylor tries to flee but is blocked by the level lock. With fire coming from all sides, John throws a grenade, clearing the enemies. The voice announces the level is complete, and John earns top score. But the calm doesn't last. They find Gideon, helmet open, convulsing violently. A countdown ends, his brain is fried by the helmet's fail-safe. CPR fails. Gideon is gone. Panicked, the group tries to remove their helmets, but they're sealed. In desperation, Anthony begs Carl to smash his helmet with a fire extinguisher. It doesn't budge. The sergeant reappears and physically punishes Anthony for disobedience, reinforcing the rule, player be punished. Forced to continue, the group progresses through several levels, each introducing new dangers and mechanics. On a gas-filled floor, they must use knives in close combat. Killing up close rattles Taylor further, but Shelley promises to help her escape. During a brutal shootout, both Carl and John go down. Shelley and Marco administer pulse shots. Later, while trying to break a window, Anthony cracks it using a cart. The sergeant appears and brutally beats him. As he tries to flee, he's kicked down the stairs, breaking his leg. His wound is real, but in-game, it doesn't register, so no healing is possible. Left behind, Anthony dies from blood loss. On the next floor, Marco and others argue about strategy. Amid the chaos, an enemy shoots Marco in the back. Taylor hides in a bathroom. As the fight rages, Shelley finds and helps Marco. Then, a terrorist checks bathroom stalls. Just as he reaches Taylor, Shelley bursts in and stabs him. The level ends. Edward earns the high score. During a break, the group opens up. None have close family, no one will miss them. They were chosen for this. They reach a level where a hostage is being beaten. The sergeant says a bomb in the basement will detonate unless they extract the disarm code. The hostage is wired with bolts. Edward electrocutes him without mercy. Eventually, the man whispers something. John enters the code, but it triggers the bomb instead. They have 30 minutes. Taylor kills the hostage in frustration. Marco, furious, punches John's helmet. When Taylor intervenes, he hits her. The sergeant's voice orders them to the elevator. The elevator jams halfway. Marco blocks John from escaping. Both are trapped and dropped on the third floor. Outside, they find a crashed helicopter. Marco forces John to advance, using him as a shield. John is killed. Marco runs ahead. On the fourth floor, Carl has a panic attack triggered by smoke. He confesses to Shelley he lost someone in a fire. She calms him. They proceed to the final level. With almost no ammo, they split up. Taylor finds serum, but Marco confronts her and demands it. She refuses. He shoots her. Carl later finds her body, and she's scrawled, Marco, in blood. Furious, Carl attacks him in real life. The two brawl brutally. As Marco prepares to kill Carl, the sergeant intervenes, choking Marco to death. With only minutes left, the remaining trio, Shelley, Carl, and Edward, reach the basement. They clear enemies and approach the bomb. A last enemy shoots Carl. As Shelley runs for the bomb, she's gunned down. Carl uses his serum on her instead of himself. He dies beside her. Edward blasts the final enemy and disables the bomb with 1 second left. The simulation ends. The sergeant congratulates them. Edward eerily repeats his words, revealing himself as a plant for the organization. Shelley is sedated as cleaners arrive to erase evidence. All player data is wiped. In the morning, Shelley wakes in her clothes. Edward, in a suit, gives her the prize money. When she threatens to expose the truth, he mocks her. No one would believe her. As another man approaches with a sedative, Shelley injects him instead. Armed with his gun, she takes out Edward's men with cold precision. When Edward begs for mercy, Shelley shows none. She shoots him and walks out, leaving the money behind.